Hi, and welcome to the third installment of my student teaching blog. I have two main experiences I'd like to talk to you about for the next 5 minutes or so that occurred at my third week here at Bridgewater. The first of which is a subject which, although I realize and understand, I am currently, getting my feet wet and experimenting with. And I came to this full realization through a reading that my co-op John gave me by Westminster's own Joe Flummerfelt. The Flummerfelt's article focused on the dichotomy of music, which is something that I talk about in my philosophies of education, philosophies of music education, that are available in another section of the site. And that's as music as what I define it as music as an abstract and music as a decoder of the abstract. Flummerfelt, citing Julian James's book about the bicameral mind, refers to music's temporal and intuitive sides, and the issues we have as teachers in balancing those. Flummerfelt says that the deepest meaning, we can achieve the deepest meaning for our students and for ourselves in genuine musical experiences when those two planes, when the x-axis of temporal thinking and the y-axis of intuitive or spiritual thinking collide. And if we can get that balance right, we will supply a deeper meaning because it reaches music in its two contexts at its purest. I actually, while I was reading, I drew, because I'm kind of a graphic learner, a little graph of how I understood the text, and it's helped me focus my teaching and my conducting with the groups I'm working with John. And I know the words may be backwards because of the camera, but if you see here, everything exists within time, and then within time there's the experiences we have within the classroom. And if you've read my philosophies, you know that I'm very much into experiential learning as well as existentialism, and I think that experience is the initial teacher, and therefore we should use that to initiate further learning and further the development, the zone of proximal development within our teaching. And then as you see intuitive is the y-axis, temporal is the x-axis, and they collide in the middle. And at the middle point is the deepest point of meaning, which is the fourth dimension that draws backwards. In the context of my own teaching so far, now that I am actually engaging in music with the students, particularly through conducting some of the pieces and through warm-ups, I'm starting to once again realize that I often trap myself in my own mind and my own thoughts, which detracts from the musical experience that I'm sharing with the students. There are times where I'll hear something in the warm-ups, whether it's a unmodified vowel or space issues or breath support issue, and in my mind I'll have 8 different ideas firing off at once about how to fix that I'll ignore what's actually happening in the choir. Or the opposite will be true, where I know I do that, I tend to do that, so I try to do the exact opposite of that habit and have so much coming in, have my intake on so much that my outtake is declining. I think that with the help of John, especially through the music making exercises we've been enacting, including sing-in plays, Hindenburg rhythm exercises, etc. I've greatly improved in this aspect, and it's obviously the biggest strength a choral teacher needs. So I feel that it's very important and essential, and I'm working 110% with John in order to develop that skill even more so. The second thing from this week that I found really interesting was I went to a CPLG meeting, which is sort of the department curriculum meeting. It was the first one of the school year, and the department is not only the music department. So it's not only John and the 2 band instructors and the orchestra teacher, but also the cultural ceramics teacher, the general art teacher, the home ec teacher. It's a huge department, and so what they're trying to do is create a department-wide handbook for the future, for not only defending what they do, but also for asking for funding and that sort of thing. So it's very political, and it's something that I'm very interested in because I'm more of a philosophical big picture guy, and they're creating their philosophies and reshaping their philosophies for what they teach. And so being in that environment and seeing the interactions with the supervisors and the teachers and being able to offer my ideas was certainly a fun and interesting moment for me. And I'm looking forward to the professional days we'll have when we get to work on this kind of information. Um, all in all, I thought this was a very good week. I had an observation on Tuesday, which went very well. And I feel that I am much more comfortable with the groups and with John than I was a week ago, and that I'm improving vastly for the time that I'm spending. So I'll check in with you in a week, and hopefully I'll have some more information for you. So hope you enjoyed this.